What's up, everybody? Today I wanted to talk about, for a God's Word on job searching, a more positive message. And I want to answer the question about when employers would say to you, tell me about your greatest weakness. And then they give you the pen and then they look down like, I'm going to write this down. And then they give you the face like, I'm judging. Maybe I'm judging. And maybe they are judging. They probably are judging. In some cases, I think that they're looking for you to just kind of rat on yourself, some things you need to work on. And in some cases, I think they're looking for you to take that question in a better direction. So I want to talk about first how this ties into God's word. Then I want to talk about some challenges that I've seen or maybe less than helpful ways to answer that question, and then some more beneficial ways to answer that question. So first, to start, you're one of God's children. If you believe in God, you are his child. And that means he's designed you. Hello. I don't know what that was. He has designed you, though, intentionally, just as you are. Are you perfect? No. But were you designed perfectly? Yes. There's a difference in that we're not going to be perfect every moment of every day, but we were intentionally designed with purpose to have purpose. So that's number one. Just go ahead and remind yourself, I'm one of God's children, sir or ma'am. So I will be thinking of that as I answer this and all of your fun interview questions. The second thing, again, I want to talk about is things that I've heard that are not beneficial. While we always want to be truthful and honest in our responses, we don't need to offer what I call extra information, which is a whole lot of negative stuff. We don't need to offer that. Just answer the question, Bill or Susan. Just answer the question. Yes, it helps to give an example, but they're not asking for a laundry list of all the things that someone else might say aren't great about you. Again, remember, with pretty much every interview question, they're asking whatever words they use, what they're really asking are, how and why are you the best candidate for this job? So the tell me about your greatest weakness question is sort of an easy one to screen through people who aren't thoughtful in their responses. So I've heard things like, well, I'm just not great at being on time. Not awesome. Or I don't really love working with other people, or customer service isn't really my thing. Or gosh, what's another one? Well, I'm just not really patient. Yeah, I just like for things to be done a certain way. And when they're not, I get really upset about it. And I know for some of you watching, you're like, Carol, some of that's you. Okay, fair enough. Maybe it was at some point. But even if it were true, I would not share that openly with an employer. No, I would not. If you have thought through what the job requires and you think you are a good fit, instead of sharing what I call extra information or negative information, I'm going to want you to turn this into an opportunity. We don't have to use the same language they used. No. So if they say to you, tell me about your greatest weakness, we can say, oh, I definitely have some opportunity for growth. Let me share that with you. Number one, that is helpful because we don't need to be talking about things as a weakness when we're approaching a potential employer. Same way we would not offer a weakness on a date. We're not leading with, here are all the things that are bad about me. Plus, it's not good to talk about things as a weakness when we can develop them, right? It changes the way our brain sees and thinks about things and us as we think through the words we're using. So an area of opportunity for me is, and so here's some examples of what you could say. For me, I do like to work alone, and I like to work very efficiently, and I like to work quickly. But I would not say those in the negative way, which is I can't work with other people. I'm very impatient. It's two sides of the same answer. Yes, we want to be honest, but an answer that is more thoughtful and aligned with what the job is asking for might be something like, part of what attracts me, and I'm just making this up right now, part of what attracts me to this role is that there's a lot of independent work, and I work really well independently. I am comfortable working with other people in my past roles because I've been such a high achiever. I may not have needed to work with other people. I can see how there would be value for that in this job. So that's something I'm looking to get more opportunity with and grow as a result of this role, because I can see it being very beneficial. Only say that if that's true, right? Depending on what the job is going to require, you want to tailor your answer to show that there are actually opportunities for growth. Now, if you're a new graduate and they say to you, again, tell me about your greatest weakness, a natural, easy answer for you for this question, again, not as a weakness, but an area of opportunity is, well, as you know, I'm a new graduate, which means I have a ton of excitement and energy to get into this field. And I'm so excited to learn more about your company. While I have earned my degree, and I've learned so much, I've had a lot of group work, I've had a lot of critical thinking, I've learned great communication skills. One of the things that remains an opportunity for me is the hands-on experience with the technology in this job. As a student, we just really didn't get that. I know that you're asking for XYZ software. I have used something similar. And here's what makes it similar, but I'd love to get my hands on this opportunity. So what we're doing is, one, we're reframing it from a negative to a positive, which means opportunity, which shows a little bit about our forward thinking and growth mindset. But also, we're using the question they've asked that might be designed to set us, put us in the no category, to share whatever else we want. They have opened the door. They have asked you an open-ended question. So you don't have to just say, well, I'd love to learn new software. You can say all the things that I just said. Well, given that I have this, and this, here's what makes this a great opportunity for me. And now you've just added lots of examples and things that make you a great candidate, and they didn't even ask for those things. So I would highly recommend that. The other thing, the last thing that I'll close with is, when we think about if there is something you genuinely need to work on that applies to this job, and they either push or they ask for clarification or whatever, and you're talking about it as an opportunity, you can say, we never want to just say, and I'm not great at this. We always want to end with a positive, right? Again, this is a great time to remind yourself, I am one of God's children, and I'm going to answer as though I know my value, and I'm going to share it with you. But if we do need to say something like, yeah, I haven't worked a lot with other people yet, I would love the opportunity to pick up that skill. And I think this is a great place to do it, because I've heard nothing but great things, or I've read about your company culture, and I know that's something you guys value. And while it might be something that I don't have a lot of experience or haven't mastered yet, I would love to. So I hope that helps. Again, you're one of God's children. He loves you as you are. Yes, we have room for development, but who doesn't, right? Hope that you found this helpful. I hope you guys have an amazing day. Please let me know in the comments if you have any questions or anything else you'd like me to talk about. Okay, bye everybody.